Alright guys, part 2, we're going to go ahead and finish the oil cooler installation. I have 3M outdoor double-sided adhesive I'm going to use as my top and bottom cushion. I've already done the top side. I guess that would be, yeah, the top side. And I am applying the bottom side now. Any kind of double-sided adhesive will work just fine because it is going to have plenty of pressure on it. This is just what I happen to have laying around. So, let me get this pulled apart. It's always a pain in the butt, but I guess that means it's good, right? Bring it back in a sec. Okay. Our bottom with the mounting bracket and the double-sided adhesive, and our top with no mounting bracket and the double-sided adhesive. Our cooler, we're going to put our inlet and outlet at the top, and we're going to stick the one that has nothing on there, on no mounting holes on the top, and we're just going to let it sit there and kind of rest, keep it separated for now. And before I go any farther, I'm going to take all the nuts off and Loctite all of these. So give me just a second and I'll come back with Loctite on all that. Okay. I'm actually going to keep it separated, and I'm going to feed all these through there just so everything's perfectly lined up. Oh, no, can't do that. Getting ahead of myself. This piece has to go on. So we're going to do the back too. And we're going to throw the standoffs on. And then drop that in place. And then take our bottom plate with the mounting hardware that'll mount up. And just make sure it's all lined up how we want it. Pull it tight. And don't squeeze it just yet, because everything can still move around. You can still lift that adhesive. I'm just going to throw 2 nuts on hand tight. Nothing crazy. Once again, the nuts are 10 millimeters, and the bolts themselves, or the head, is a 5 millimeter Allen. Okay. Now we're going to throw our guard on, just like so. So we will get a standoff ready and sitting in there. And this is why you're not tightening anything down, because those standoffs are hard to get in there if you tighten it all down. Okay, one side's done. Get a standoff and the bolt with the washer on the top. Okay, just hold it tight. And now that everything is kind of adjusted and lined up where it's supposed to be, I will say push back. Push your grate back as much as you can, or the guard, whatever you want to call it. But we will worry about that once we start impacting it all together. So I'm going to grab a 10, and I have my 5 millimeter Allen. We're going to do the backs first. Once again, number 1, lowest setting, and just whoa, hit yourself in the chin. Okay, and then we're going to flip it over, staying with the back side away from the guard. Put that 5 in there, watch your chin. Okay. Now we're going to do the front, and we're going to push the guard back as far as it can, top and bottom, and hold it. That's wonderful. I don't know if you can see that, but it's starting to move. So we're just going to take our... that didn't work out. So we're going to loosen this one. Make sure everything's nice and flat, and then just tighten that sucker down. We're going to come to the top and hold it nice and flush. Okay, and now we have everything adjusted like we want. Okay, get that out of the way. So now it's ready to go on the bike. The mounts are on the bottom, inlet and outlet are on the top. That way you use all of the cooling and not just the first one or two. I'm not sure about the oil change stuff yet. I haven't got that far either. So I'm going to mount this on to the cooler before I put it on the bike, but we're going to make sure we're facing the right way. Because I don't remember, and I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. So give me a second, we're going to move. Okay. Sorry about the air compressor. That way is going to be kicking over to the shifter side. But this way, we'll put it pretty much... This way will be pretty much straight on. So, give me a sec. Okay, so first things first. The kit comes with that bag of hardware. We're going to use the 2 small bolts out of there. And just hit it with a little bit of Loctite. And we're going to test. Move my fat hand. We're going to test, and that's the way we want it to sit. So we're going to pull it off and keep it flat. We're going to flip our radiator and put it on just like so. So we're going to grab our bolts that we Loctited. Remember, always hand start them. Okay, give me just a second. Let me get this buttoned up. Okay, that's all snugged up. Once again, Loctite. These bites vibrate. So we're going to stick some Loctite on our intake bolts. And that's awesome little stick I found on Amazon. So we're going to sit it on there and then start the bolts. Trying to make sure you guys can see a little. I would almost recommend longer bolts, but they work. And I haven't had any issues on the other bike that I did this on already. So, I'm going to get these snugged up, and I'll be back with you. Okay, and I just did this with a 10mm wrench. Got them nice and tight. Just for an example. On both sides. Now I'm going to see if I can find you guys a good spot to watch and try running some oil lines. Okay. I'm going to try to take you guys with me on this one. Make sure everything's in sight. Feed it through. Put your gasket. Twist it up. And just start it. Okay. So this one goes here, down and around the intake, and then into the top side. And this is the cover I was talking about. Make sure you hold your hand on that. Okay. So we got both our lines going. The top one runs to the far side, and I don't know enough to tell you if that's right or wrong. The bottom one runs to the closer side. So now it's the funny part. We're going to turn this on and choke it. If I can get to the damn choke. Hit the key. Okay, make sure it's in the run position. I have not added any oil. We'll run it first and then check it. We're looking for oil leaks. So we're watching these. Watching here. Watching all this right here. That's all birdseed. Pause. Okay, we're going to check this one. Yeah. But all, you can't really see it on camera. All those little black specks, that's birdseed. Those in this thing's exhaust. Makes me wonder how much is in there. But no leaks. Sorry. No leaks at the fittings. No leaks here. That's probably not recommended on a fairly cold motor. But the mouse pisses me off, and now we'll definitely know if we got an oil leak. So I'm gonna let this run for, I don't know, another 5-6 minutes, and I'll bring you back and we'll button it all up. It's pretty much done. Okay, one final check here. Ooh, they're nice and hot. No leaks. No leaks. No leaks. Area I was concerned about. No leaks. Alright, now come over here. Cut our fuel off. Cut our fuel off. Cut our key off. Find a way to set you guys up and check the oil. Okay. Grab our rag. Trying not to burn ourselves here. From everything I have read, it said wipe it off, stick it back in, don't thread it down. Okay. And we are just a little low. Actually, we're almost perfect. We're going to try 50 milliliters. Give me just a sec. Okay, Mr. Quick Bore here. 100 milliliters, we're going to add that and see. So pull our dipstick out, sit it on the rag. Always check your funnel and make sure it's clean. Okay. We're going to add the full 100 milliliters. Once that's all done, I'll run it for another few minutes and check it again. Give me a sec. Okay. Added that 100 milliliters. And we're going to check it again. Like I said, you just sit it in there. Don't screw it down. Nothing like that from what I've been told and read. Pull it out. Alright. About 100 milliliters. Kind of hard to see. But it's about in the middle. So, go ahead and thread this on. One of these days. Okay. Click the ignition on. I'm going to let it idle for a little bit longer. Stick this gauge in there and see what it says. Okay. We let it run till we're out of fuel in the bowl. The case is hot. Wipe it all off. Just set it in. Don't thread it or anything like that. Check it again. And it looks like we are right about in the middle, right where we need to be. Wipe that off. Find a safe spot to sit that. And then this is significantly shorter, so I am going to thread this in. And we're going to give that a few minutes and see what it raises to. Alright, it's been a few minutes. And we're sitting at 40 Celsius. Let's see if we can get that on the screen. The oil cooler itself, 45, 46. Exhaust is 154, 55. Case itself is 37. The head 70. And I think I'm going to leave that in there and just put my oil dipstick in my fuel bag here. Thanks guys, hope it helps somebody.